Tonight we're talking to St Albans City manager Ian Allinson at Evesham United's ground, where the Saints have boosted their hopes of getting a playoff position with a 4-1 win away to Gloucester City. After 3 straight wins, 3 straight defeats even, we needed that one, Ian, but it wasn't always plain sailing, despite the final scoreline.
No, it was a difficult game, played in difficult conditions. I don't think people realise how windy it was out there and how wobbly the pitch was again. So I was disappointed in the end in the first half because I felt we could have been sort of 2 or 3 up. We hit the crossbar twice, the keeper's made a great save, the clear one off the line, and we get 1-0 up in the 42nd minute, and within 2 minutes we give a sloppy goal away. We're not picking up properly on set pieces. And I just felt we switched off just before the half-time whistle and started the second half reasonably bright. I thought Reece had a great chance to score. And then out of 10 minutes where we've had to rely on Dean to make 2 really good saves to keep us in the game. And then we've had the incident with Sam where, you know, their guys obviously, for me, I'm right behind the incident and he's left the ball and actually played the man. So for me, I think it is a penalty. Is it a second yellow card? I mean, I didn't know whether it was a second yellow card. But we have to take them because we've had a lot go against us in the last couple of weeks in terms of some of the incidents that's happened. And we have to grasp it. And at this stage of the season, you know, with 2 games to go, we'll grasp anything to take us to get the 3 points that we needed tonight.
Right, come on to that second half more in a minute, Ian. But that first half, we had a wind to our backs, and up in that gantry, that was one heck of a wind. So once you've got that lead, you think you've got the upper hand, but as you say, we lost it 2 minutes later. But the good thing I thought about our first half, we had quite a few chances. In recent games, we've not had many shots on goal, but today we did.
No, and I think the wind was a massive factor in the first half because it was strong and we did play it to our advantage and we did have some great opportunities. As I say, you know, to actually get 1-0 up after working so hard and as I say, they're hitting the crossbar twice and their keeper keeping them with a couple of really good saves. I was so disappointed to give the goal away, and they're the fine margins that, you know, we're still working with this squad. Is that our lapses of concentration still appear, you know, today. To score in the 42nd minute, let's see it out to half time. We come in at 1-0. They've got to go and chase the game in the second half, and you know, then we can go and try and pick them off. As I say, we've been fortunate because the sending off has changed the game in terms of us going on to win it. But it was an important win, and the 3 goals were important today in terms of the positive side of the 4-1, giving us the 3 goals. That puts us back a little bit in terms of going above one of the clubs today on goal difference.
Cundy's header for the equaliser, almost a replica of a goal he got down at Clarence Park, but he's sending off, I think it was more for his comments to the referee rather than the foul itself. It was a stupid challenge to make. Nice call here by Sam Merson to stick it away. And Sam's next 2 goals, classic centre forwards goal, just being in the right place at the right time. Yeah, and I think we'd had one just before there where you see he hit it early and hit the side netting with it. So, you know, we know what Sam's like. As we said, we're going to have ups and downs with him, but you know, when he's in these purple patches, you have to leave the boy alone, and then he will score us goals. But you know, he's one of them lads. He's probably too brave for his own good at times. You see, he throws his head in where he shouldn't sometimes, and you know, and they're the sort of things that, you know, he's got to learn just to manage better in terms of when he challenges football, when he doesn't. But as we've always said, if you give him half a chance for a goal, he does stick it away. I think that's his 21st goal of the season. So, and if you look at his games this started, he probably hasn't started as many as he probably should have done. So, great return for what we've had out of the boy. And as I say, important tonight because we needed just to settle everything back down going into the last 7 days of the season with 2 massive games coming up with Hampton and Bath. And it was really important we didn't go into them games on the back of another defeat or failure to win a game, because last week hurt, and it was one of them where we have to pick ourselves up. You know, poor performances probably against Whitehawk and half a game against Bognor, but I felt the second half of Bognor and certainly against Havant were much better, and we've carried that on again tonight. And you know, we've got the result, which is important. The supporters, I must say, that probably 30 or 40 were outstanding tonight because they got behind the players. They made loads and loads of noise, and in the second half I think they sung the whole second half. So thank you to those 40 or 50, whatever it was, made it tonight. They were fantastic, and I'll say it on air, and I'm going to speak to Jake on the way home. We need as many St Albans supporters at this club on Saturday to get behind the players. Final league game in terms of the season at home. We don't know, it might be a playoff game at home if we can do it, but we need everybody behind the club on Saturday, as many supporters that can get there. Please come down, support the players because they deserve it, and hopefully we can put another win on the board, which might not cement the opportunity of getting the playoffs, but it'll obviously put us a long way on the way in terms of getting into the playoffs. Yeah, I think that's 22 in the league in the season for Sam now, 24 all competitions, 2 hat-tricks at this level. well, not only that, but his name, that's going to attract attention elsewhere.
Hopefully so. As I said before, you know, I wouldn't want to lose the boy, but you know, people have spoke to me over the last sort of 6 or 8 weeks, and you know, I've said all along, he's one of those that I feel if somebody could grab him, take him, and work with the boy, he's got fantastic potential. He's still only 21, 22 years of age, so if somebody grasps him and takes him and put them under their wing and teach him for sort of 6 months in terms of a full-time game, they've got a hell of a player, because as I've said along, there isn't many better than him in the air in this league, and his finishing, if you give him half a chance, he's exceptional. But you know, I don't want to lose the boy, as I've said all along. You know, he's been great for us, he's been great for me, he's been great for St Albans, and you know, it'd be very hard to replace. But you know, as I've said all these younger boys, you know, if they can give me some of their time, and you know, I'll never ever stand in their way in this football club. I'll never stand in their way of progressing to another level. If he can do it with us, Sam, great. If he can't, if he does it on his own and he goes off to another level on his own, then great. But if not, he'll stay around us and he'll continue scoring goals for us as we go into the end of this season and also into the start of next season.
You were forced into making 2 changes tonight, Ian, with Ben Hurd and Kieran Monlouis unavailable. Yeah,
Ben's away with his academy team. It was something we spoke about 10 weeks ago. We looked at the fixtures coming into the last week of the season, and this week was spare, and unfortunately when we lost this game over the Easter period, it was the only time that we could get it in with Gloucester's fixtures as well, so we had to accept that, and it's a shame really, because you know, Ben's been great for us this year, but Tom Gardner and Tarek have come in and done a great job tonight, so you know, that gives me a good option for Saturday going to the game against Hampton. And Kieran Monlouis was on jury service, and he let us know about 3 o'clock that they were still going back into court at 3:15, and he eventually let us know about 20 to 5 that he was still stuck in Blackfriars, just getting out of court, and then he picked his car up. So it's a shame really, because you know, Kieran's been doing a good job for us this year, so you know, it just but it gave other people an opportunity tonight, and I just felt we were a little bit hungrier tonight in terms of what we were doing. The players were really disappointed at half time that they give a sloppy goal away, but tonight, you know, it was great in the change room. There was a good atmosphere in the change room tonight, and it's just, we've got to just keep that boiling across now going into next Saturday.
So it sounds like you've got a full squad for Saturday. It promises to be an absolute cracker, but in recent seasons we've provided rich pickings for Hampton.
Well, we have, and that's why we've got to try and learn, and you know, we've got to make sure that we do our homework on Thursday night in the training session, and then we come in and plan and prepare properly on Saturday. So you know, if we make mistakes and we lack concentration like we did for their goal today, you know, they will punish us, Hampton, because they've got players that will score goals. They've got players that, as we see down there, Charlie Wasson was scored against us from a set piece. He scored again tonight from a set piece properly. So you know, we've got to be on our mettle. We've got to make sure we defend properly, and then we've got to just see where we are in terms of how the game pans out. But you know, it gives us an opportunity now going into Saturday. It gives the town something to give us a shout about, and hopefully we can get 3 points on Saturday, and then we'll see where we are before we go into the Bath game.
Lovely, thanks so much, Ian. Let's hope for a nice day on Saturday, better than the weather we've got here tonight. Well, so Saints have strengthened their position in the playoffs with a 4-1 win against Gloucester City. I don't think I should point the camera over there, a bit dark, let's go over here. Kick-off at Clarence Park Saturday. National League South is at 3 PM, and that's against Hampton and Richmond.